Hi, Raminta. Welcome everyone. Another episode of The Silent Voice.
Hello, Sov, and hello, everyone.
So today's topic is pretty interesting. It's always difficult to manage this topic in a relationship, any relationship. It's criticism, and yeah, Raminta, tell me more about today's topic. What we are going to talk about.
Today we will talk about criticism in a romantic relationship. Our focus was in a couple relationship, how to express constructive criticism without judgmental meaning. And because I think that in a healthy romantic relationship, the most important part is growth. And without criticism, without expressing where your partner could be better, it's not possible to grow.
Yeah, yeah. Criticism is in personal relationship or at work also. There is uh, at work uh, there is a different name for the criticism is uh, constructive feedback mostly, which is in a way that you put a feedback or criticize about me, giving a positive constructive feedback, so it's so that it's not accepted as a negative. So that there is different terms in different situation, like different companies, organizations, they use differently. But constructive feedback is the terms for criticism for growth.
Yes, but in companies, different types of companies, that criticism is planned, like every year or every 6 months. You know that you will hear the review from the higher, from the person who is higher than you. Also, you know your task very clearly. So in this case, it's much easier than in a relationship because you cannot, okay, now we schedule a meeting uh, a dinner, and I will give you a constructive criticism about how you're dealing. Like, it would be good practice, but I don't think that it will build a better romantic relationship if
That's
we put in
interesting.
a schedule.
That's interesting. I mean, if two couples, like couples mostly, if they work in an organization system, so there will be a review period for every, not every 6 months to a year, but for every week, maybe.
Then, like in all the situations when someone is like suggesting all the therapists, like have at least the 1 hour a week where you will spend together and you plan, okay, we will spend together. I will criticize where you are wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't happen that in a professional way, but still it requires for both partners to come together to talk about or discuss anything constructive in a very more in a constructive, positive way, not to hurt each other, not to blame, not to put someone down, but that criticism without judgment, like what you were talking about, that there should not be any judgment, but accepting that. So I think it is necessary in relationship, and most people don't do it in a way of um, empowering others. I think criticism is to empower others to be better. End of the
Yes,
day, yeah,
in general, it's about this. If we look at the criticisms, the definition, why it is in our life, is to make us better. But there are two sides how you would represent the same, even criticism, even the same idea about the person, how he would be better, and it depends on the other person. And what you said that it's not always happening in the couples, from my experience, usually when there is um, not equal relationship, when there is I I would say disorganized relationship, when someone has more power and other has lower power, usually what is happening, that person who is higher, he's criticizing criticizing other person in a judgmental way, and then that other person is quiet because what he's doing, he's always defensive. And when he is like explode, then he is also like telling everything through emotions, and they are getting into a high level conflict where hurt each other. So I think it's very important to recognize if there is no healthy criticism in a couple, if you cannot tell, so it means that there is some kind of problem, and you have to ask yourself why. And also, when you hear criticism, you have to manage it, no matter how much you would escape from that information that you got. It's like at work, if you got, if your, I don't know, person who is in a higher position would tell you like, oh, you're always late at work. You cannot say, no, it was just a couple times because like, but this is what is happening in couple. Usually when someone is telling to other some kind of criticism, like, I don't know, you're always blaming others for the situation, and person is telling, no, I'm not, I'm just telling what is happening, or I'm just telling the truth, or again starting to defend himself. This is always not won't go in a good way, because we see that that person don't want to grow.
You said something that is I wanted to bring it. When at work, your boss is saying that you are coming late all the time and you do not say back anything. Why?
What you mean do not say back? Like,
Like if your boss says that you are always late, at that time, if boss is saying that he's criticizing you, what would you do at that time?
me?
Huh?
You want me? Okay, now you're going to the personal space.
Yeah, no, it's just a human nature, not just about you, but
It depends on the personalities. As I mentioned, different personalities will react differently. But when it's like a feedback, when it's on the paper, and
uh
this is what paper will be bring to the HR and all other persons, like from that you will know, will you get a higher salary and all of the stuff. So it's connected not with just with the that's why in work it's easier, because from my experience, you always know your tasks, what you have to do. You bring your goals for next 3 months, for next 6 months. After that, you are telling what you did, what you didn't. Then your boss will tell you his feedback from all the other people with who you are connected. So it's absolutely different. And from that feedback, you know what is your next step. So it is, everything is in a very structured way. So it depends on me. If I won't get promises from my boss that and this is my some kind of protest, or this was our agreement before that I can be late, and he said that it's okay, and now he is criticizing. Like there is multiple different situations, and I was in multiple situations with coming to work at time, because this is where like, oh my God, it's not my type of working. So there are different. things, but in general, so I react differently when I got this type of feedback based on the situation. But in general, if it's a constructive criticism, it's not like I want to tell you something bad because I don't want to like to give you a higher position or to increase your salary. So then, of course, I will accept that and I will manage my time. Um, but if it's just like a pretending not to give me what we agreed about, I will defend myself.
Yeah, but at work, we are conscious about our job, our pay, our job security, and based on all those things, you are going to respond. Doesn't matter what was the deal or not, uh, but there is some dependency or there is something that is tied to your job.
I disagree.
Hmm.
At this point, I disagree. If you are at work
Uh-huh.
with some kind of attachment in a scarcity where
Hmm.
you cannot protect yourself, this is not a work for you.
Yes.
This is my rule that I have, and I will always tell that to everyone.
Yes. Um, so in that situation, so you are not in a scarcity mindset, or you do not have any problem finding a job, but it's not also easy to find a job. What I'm trying to say is, at work, most probably you do compromises most of the time. It's not the all the time, depends on what is your situation.
Compromises in one or other way, but more what I want to say to everyone, we have to understand that our work is a place where also we should show ourselves in the best way. And if there is no environment where you can show yourself in the best way, where you feel stress, where you feel anxiety, where you feel defended, like dependency, where you are in a scarcity, like this is the red flags. You cannot stay in that work anymore. And I would say from my experience and my very close like friends and family experiences, it, it's not really hard to find job. Just don't have too high expectations. Don't be in a pride.
Hmm. So, so what I'm getting at is it doesn't matter work or personal life. You have to accept the criticism in order for you to improve yourself, to do better, or you can quit.
Yes, I would say the same because uh, and I will tell you why. Because in a coaching, I have multiple clients
Uh-huh.
who are telling me the same, that I'm telling to my partner this, and this, and it's not changing.
Yeah.
Or I'm growing. I want to do that or that, and my partner is okay where he is right now, and he don't want to reach our the same goals. And then you have to accept, because you will always have someone who holds you back
Mhm.
and won't grow, or you can quit and look for the partner who would help you grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, but it's not that easy. Like it's not just that yeah, you are in a relationship and one fine day you didn't get along with something, someone said something to each other. It's not just that just okay, I'm done, I'm going to find someone else. But there is room for improvement. There is room for conversations. there is opportunities that you can both partners can work together.
I would say that it's a goal.
It's a goal.
What goal you have. I'm not taking that relationship as a goal, but in general, what you want from that relationship, and I would say be honest 100% what you want. If you want a partner who won't criticize you or who won't criticize one or other of your behavior, for example, I like pole dance. And if my partner would say one dance because I don't like you half of naked in front of the public, I would say I'm sorry, but like this criticism, even it's constructive, like from his values and everything what he knows and cares about, um, I cannot do that. Like it's not me. And I know that in a relationship, when I build the relationship in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, this will be the main problem that cause us a conflict. If I want dance, I feel that ache, inside of me, that burdened, that I want to go dance, and I'm doing this because of this partner. And if I dance, then I will have a conflict all the time when I go to the performance, when I go to the, I don't know, events for of the pole dance. It will be always a problem.
Mm,
So I would say you have to hear what your partner likes or dislikes, analyze that clearly by your values, by your belief system, by your gut, if it's okay or not. And if you see that this would be a problem, why to damage yourself and why damage your partner?
yeah. But again, that is the likes and dislikes about or preferences of a partner, whether certain things he would like in you or not. It's the same case in both ways. You might not like something in your partner, but it's about individual choices. That's the likes, dislikes about individual choices. What you wanted to do, that's your choice. Um, but the criticism is a whole different thing. Criticism probably be like, uh, yeah, you are doing dance, but actually, what is that going to benefits you? Like it something that to criticize you, like l- you see,
Well,
criticism is
okay,
different things.
I yes, when you are talking about healthy relationship, for example,
Yes.
let's use the same example as pole dance.
Hmm.
My partner is okay that I'm dancing pole dance, and he wants me to grow in there.
Hmm.
So what he would do after every like my classes, he will watch videos when I'm dancing. He said, okay, here, like, he will be interested in that. Here you can do this. Try this thing. Maybe these shoes will be better for you. I would think about this outfit and this light. He will come with you to the events and try to make it like even better that you will grow in that.
Yeah.
And this is a healthy relationship and healthy criticism. Well, maybe I don't like to hear, like, I'm so excited and I want to show what I did, how I improve myself. And then I hear, oh, look, this leg
Yeah.
should be.
Your shoes are not doesn't look good.
Yes, yes, like something like that. And then, like, of course, that first feeling is like, what you know, I know better, what are you telling to me? But when you analyze and when you see that your partner wants to help you grow, this is a healthy criticism, what is necessary in a relationship, in a romantic with a romantic partner, because this is the only person who can tell you truth. Because yes, trainer, like at the dance, he would push you, but also there is different type of relationship, and he is not able, for example, to bring you lights or to do music and put so much effort as your partner could, because he cares about you much more than your teacher, and all other things. So I think that criticism from partner is the closest, sometimes the most hurting, and sometimes like it's really your partner will really brings in a deep understanding about yourself, and also with a healthy partner, with a healthy criticism, you will grow more and
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah. I think that that is where the criticism comes again, how your partner would bring that criticism to you, like criticizing, but not judging without judgment. So uh, that is where the key point is. I think the criticism has to be put in a way that it doesn't hurt someone, but at the same time, the point has been communicated across.
Yes, I would say for me, I don't know, you would agree or not, the difference between criticism and judgmental, when I feel that I judge person, when
Hmm.
my values don't align, when that person is truly, for example, my one of the biggest values is freedom. And when someone is telling me that, um, I don't know, now is the topic Halloween in Lithuania, that this is like event from US, no matter that it's England bring it to US first by colonization, and then it became the celebration. But in general, and if someone else, you cannot celebrate Halloween in Lithuania because it's not in our culture,
Hmm.
and everything have to be like closed and not allowed. These events at school and everywhere because this is not our culture. For me, I would say that you are idiot because you don't even know from where that event is coming, and this is a judgmental criticism because this is not aligned with my values. And if, for example, someone would say that we have to shoot all the gays, like gay who homosexual people, this is where I would be very judgmental, that I first will shoot you because of your ideas and bringing this to the world and outside. So I think that in general, when you bring a judgmental criticism to your partner, the same example with the pole dance, it will be you look slutty. Why? Because I don't want you in general to dance there,
Yeah.
to be in that community, to represent yourself like that.
Yeah, that is pure judgmental. Yeah. So that is a very sensitive topic. Anything like in a couple, criticism and being judgmental and criticizing, it can become very sensitive. It can hurt the other person. Yes, it is same in professional work too, because in at work you are more professional, like you are your best version of yourself, and and you have to be very careful what you say, and it can ruin your own career.
Agree again, because I would say, I'm that person who's telling everything, or when I want, how I want, and especially in job. This is where I'm very protective of my colleagues. And when I see that there is something that I don't like, that I see that someone is like touched someone and even touched me, I would stay and like I don't care. I left my job very clearly by saying to my boss that she's doing black money in front of everyone, and I cannot work with her. And she wished me good luck. So, but like after a couple years, I got job. I didn't ruin my career. I was clear with what I'm saying and why. So. I would disagree about that. If you are professional, if you are good where you are, if you know your values, you will always find a job that will align with you. Don't be in a scarcity. It could take you 6 months, maybe 1 year. Maybe you will start your business. Maybe you will find some other solutions. So there are so many options. Job is such a small thing in life that I don't know, we make it so big.
Yes, I think because that is from my viewpoint, from what I see is if you're bringing the food to the table and you are the only one that bringing that money and losing the job, getting a job again may put you on a financial uh, trouble. So there is a lot of
Don't
sense. Ethan.
I would say don't sacrifice yourself and your health because of money. This is the rule number one. Because every time when we are scared to lose job and we are in a high level of stress,
Mm.
this damages. And do you want to spend 10 more years in I don't know, and eating just rice with your family, or you want to die 10 years sooner? This is a choice that you are doing every time, every day. So if you are choosing, to hurt yourself, to be in a stress, because I know people who are, they feel even anxiety when they have to go back to job. They like, what's the point?
Yes.
Today I was going, this realization was very strong in me from the beginning when I start my job. I
Mhm.
was very clear that I will find it easy when I end my studies, and I know that very clear. Once, like for 3 months, I was in a very high level of stress that I want to earn money for my family, but I know how to manage in another way. I lost my job. I didn't have money. Like there was multiple things, but this couple of weeks when I see my clients that feel so much anxiety, so much stress, they even feel a physical outcome of that. High temperature, always sick, and I see that in a work environment so much. So I would say why you are sacrificing it, for what you are doing that.
Yeah.
And today when I was going to pick up my daughters from school, there was two car accidents. Like we don't know how much time we have, and now we are sacrificing ourselves to stay at work where we feel so much stress that we can give for our kids chocolate. Like really, they don't need that. But what they need is time with us. And it doesn't matter where. There are families who are living in one room apartment for 20 years. Are they sad? No. They are sad the same level as people who are living in a, I don't know, village in Monaco. So I would say it's not the meaning. And if you I was with from my childhood in so many situations when my both parents lost job, when they didn't have food at all, they didn't have money for 3, 4 weeks, like zero. Uh, do I remember that? Yes, I remember that my mom was stressful, my dad was stressful, but I don't remember any experiences of that because I was always with my parents. But I really remember when my dad go for work for I thought that he was there. I was talking with my mother that he was there for like 1 month. My mom said he was in Germany for 5 days. Like so, this is the feeling that we are having.
Yeah. No, that I think you're right. But again, it depends on who's how to make that decision and how to save yourself from that kind of environment. And I think it depends on the person who is there in certain situation. I think there are so many coaches professional coaches, um, business coaches. I think a lot of coaches, they are helping these kind of clients who are stuck in their job. They are afraid, scared to get out of those kind of toxic environment and to make the next move
We are a little bit out of the
out
topic,
of the
but I would
context.
say,
Yeah.
yes, but I would say the last thing for everyone to understand. When you are staying in a toxic environment, it's romantic relationship, it's work, it's your family. You sympathize to that so much that you don't want to get out
Yes.
because you like to stay there. And you'll have to work and analyze why you want to be in a victim position, why you want to be in a high level of stress situation. Because this is your choice always.
Yeah. So back to criticism. So in a relationship. So we talked about how criticism can help grow your partner. Um, but again, both partners has to be open towards receiving that criticism because otherwise it's going to be a conflict. What do you say?
Yes, yes, I agree. I would say you have to know when to tell your partner
Yes.
criticism. When is the time? And when is the time? It means when partner is ready emotionally, physically. Like you won't say in bed after sex, oh, you are not cleaning dishes, or like it's not the time to discuss now because we are in an absolutely different mindset. At
Yes.
the same time, if your, for example, partner lost his job, this is not the time when to say to him, oh, you have to go to the gym, you gain some weight. Like you have to be with the brain on your head by understanding. And this is a different level, for example, about criticism. If I'm going out somewhere with my partner and I see that his shoes are not cleaned, of course I would say immediately, I won't think, oh, maybe he is sad, maybe there was a bad situation, I will be quiet. Like it's such a simple things, but why I'm telling you that? Because sometimes in a relationship, some people are quiet and this cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. So from that example, the shoes example, I think criticizing your partner depending on what is the context, what is the situation, and what is the topic. I think someone has to pay the other partner who is criticizing has to understand and evaluate the situation, whether it's appropriate to talk about that at that moment or not.
Yes, it depends on the person who is criticizing, 100%. And on the other person, of course, the main thing is to receive that. And I would say never think that you would, I don't know, when you criticize your partner, that
Mhm.
he will say, oh, yes, okay, and he will immediately change his behavior. Because, of course, that partner won't be happy about that. Like, this is very natural for everyone when someone is criticizing you to have that first think, like, no, I don't want to be wrong, especially in our now society when everyone, not everyone, but most of people grown in a very judgmental environment and they want to be perfectionist, and they are very sensitive to any type of criticism.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, some personality, the person is very sensitive towards criticism and not ready to hear that criticism at that moment. Maybe it's going to hurt that person. But again, that is why I was initially saying that both partner has to have open mind for receiving criticism. Um, Otherwise, there is no, I don't think that there would be opportunity to grow from that criticism. Because if I'm getting criticized and I'm defensive about it and being hurt emotionally, that means I'm very self-centered, thinking that, okay, I'm good, but someone else is making comments or criticizing me because of this. I'm not looking at the opportunity there, that I have an opportunity because of that criticism. I can be better. I can be a maybe I'll improve my own personality, maybe the looks or whatever. Just taking the example of the shoes.
I'm very sensitive. And I would say that for me, I need time to accept, and that time depends. Criticism, and it's always like that, with all the relationship and everything, because this is like who I am. So maybe my partner, I would say that most of people, because I'm using different type of defensiveness. Sometimes that's sarcasm, sometimes to putting back that, sometimes to ignore, or sometimes to give some explanations. Like there are multiple types how to manipulate in the criticism when you are feeling not comfortable. But does it, would I say that I get it? Yes, I get it. But for me to accept, I know that I need time. And
Yes.
the more like it's touching me emotionally, the more time I need. But at the same time, like from my experience, when you are with a sensitive personality,
Hmm.
you cannot bring criticism in a deep level very often. And you have to be aware about the person mental state and mental health. Because for me, for example, when I remember myself in the at the beginning of this year, every criticism was damaging me too much. Why? Because when personality is not stable and when he cannot manage his emotions, every criticism for him can bring him to the depression, to the high level of anxiety, to a lot of self-judgmental. Even if this was said in a nice way, in a very good way, without judgmental, but you have to be aware and like ready receive. It's not always because like I'm feeling self-centered or I'm feeling about myself that I'm doing everything good, but you have to be always also aware about the mental state of the person.
Yeah, I- it's about personality, but at the same time, nobody wants to hear some bad things about yourself. Like, I mean, whether the person is sensitive or not, criticism is about telling the negative thing in a constructive way. So nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody except,
I won't say nobody, some people. Like,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
there are people who don't want, but you know, I don't know, maybe this is my clients, but from my experience, there are so many people who don't want to hear good things about them,
Huh.
who are not able to hear compliments. It's like something that they want to wish out. Like, no, I am a bad person. And this is what I'm telling you, why I'm telling not to criticize personality, especially some people that I know from my clients, from my experience, from my close circle. Like, for them to hear criticism is like agreeing that he's a bad person.
Mhm.
And this is what he's truly believing, and this is how that person is destroying himself from the inside. So for that person, when he's always telling about, oh, I'm not beautiful, oh, I'm bad at work, oh, I did that, I'm bad mother, or like the way I was. oh, I always making a wrong choices. I'm not able to create a stable long-term relationship. I cannot take care of my appearance. I'm bad as professional because I cannot earn money. I just lost a job. And then you like for me, if someone would tell me that you are good or you are beautiful, like what you want from me? Like this would be the only thing what I would hear that person wants something. Like it's he's lying to me. He cannot see truth to me because I'm such a bad person. And for that person, if the environment would tell him, "Oh, no, you are bad. Look what you did. Look what are your choices." This is what I want to hear because I want to prove myself that I'm a bad person.
Mm,
Because this is where I am in a mental state. And this is what I am working right now. Also, there are so many people who cannot accept compliments, who are extremely beautiful, who are super wise in multiple areas, who are professionals at their work.
mhm.
But when you tell them that, no, I'm just like others, nothing special. So
Yeah.
I would say that not everyone, but yes, there are people who don't want to hear criticism. But there are people who just hearing the criticism, they won't even let in any good things about them from outside.
Mm. Yeah. I had never had that experience or knowledge from others. Like, who wouldn't accept the compliments? If there's compliments is a criticism, accepting that as a criticism, it's yes, it's
Yes, and it's coming from a very, usually from a childhood,
hmm
that are living with a very judgmental parents, with a very critical, not critical, but judgmental,
so.
where you hear like it's coming from like, and for me, for example, it was very similar where I was judged as a child. This is where I'm the most sensitive to be criticized, where I was trying to prove myself all the time. And then when I made like, because how it's growing, when, for example, for your dad, you was never smart enough. You always can do better. What you're doing all your life, you are trying to prove that you are good. Because my dad compliment all others, but always said that I'm not good enough. So I will try to improve myself as much as I can. And every my mistake was like, look, you have to be better. This is a mistake. This is not acceptable in our family. And then when I'm making mistake when I'm adult, I bring that to myself because this is what I learned from childhood, that I have to get a punishment. Someone have not to accept me, and where is no one outside who is doing that, then I won't accept myself.
Mm,
And this is the gap where that is coming inside of us.
yeah, yeah, but there is another thing I wanted to bring in. Yeah, there is criticism between the couples, but when things get really out of control, maybe that criticism, like when do you seek out for professionals like a coach or therapist because of there is too much criticism with each other that they cannot see themselves in a relationship.
I would say when criticism always are coming to a conflict,
Yes.
this is when you have to go to the therapist or coach. And also when you see that nothing what you are telling to your partner is being heard.
Mm,
Like I want to say, you know, yes, action shows more than words, but you cannot. saying that partner will change his behavior in a day or after one time,
Yeah.
because it's not possible. Like, be honest with yourself. Are you changing when someone is telling you something, like criticize you? As work example, if my boss tells me that you are always late, will I come every time at time? No, I will try. Maybe first 2, 3 weeks. Then I will be late one morning, then I see no one catch me. Then I maybe 2 mornings, then three. Like, this is our behavior. So don't think that, oh, I told him once and he don't do that. What an asshole he is. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, seriously, we have such a high level expectation to our partners, especially to our partners,
Yes.
that they will change immediately, with the illusion that we have in our head. But like, we cannot change. Like, who told, like, I don't know, like, um, even I will wake up 15 minutes earlier than before. And who did that? 365 days in a year.
Yeah.
Like, if there is someone who made a promise for himself at New Year's Eve and he did that 365 years, please write a comment. Then you can criticize, and then you can ask to your partner that he would change in like shift like that.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's a growth process. It's a time consuming work. Again, like criticism is it's sometimes we do criticize because we see certain patterns over time.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes we see that we do criticize to our partners. Also, we expect that our partner is going to change in a day, but we criticize. There would be situation we see certain patterns of our partners. Then, if when you see that, then you started criticizing. Oh, you do this thing this way, or why don't you do this way? Something just very simple examples, because we see each other's in a relationship. We both partners see each other's. Uh, Positive, negative, a lot of things. Positive, negative. Again, when I'm saying positive, negative, it's my viewpoint, right?
I would say, I would use again, bring the same example with the pole dance.
Yeah.
If my partner really wants me to grow, and even if it's a pattern, he will be ready to add some efforts and work in that. As I mentioned, he will come to the event, he will look at the um, dress for the event outfit, he will check the shoes. He will like, oh, maybe this or that would be suitable for you. This music is great, or this move you did good. And I always telling to everyone, if you are criticizing that partner, by the criticism, ask how I can help you. Or when you see the pattern that will bring that person in the same stage that you are triggered, and you see that, maybe talk couple steps ahead
Mm.
that event, because you are outside and you are here to help and to support. So when you just bring, oh, do this is not a relationship.
Yeah.
Always, if you want other person to grow in any stage, like, if I want that my new colleague, like student who just ended the university, grow, I have to put efforts. I have to teach. I have to explain maybe multiple times. Maybe in one area that person would be just perfect and I need just to tell him 1 or 2 times. In other area he won't be so good. So I have to put more effort. I have to provide more knowledge and something. If
Yeah.
you just bring, if you just bring, okay, you are in a relationship with me, I see this is your pattern. Deal with it. It's not gonna happen. This is not
Yeah.
how the growth in a relationship. And it's both sides.
Yeah. Both
This is what I see always. And I will tell my sister example. She started to live with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend of always before the bed, he put all the clothes on the ground before next to the bed. This is who he is. And she was telling me, this is what really triggers me. And I can shout at him every evening or every morning, why you put your all the clothes like on the ground. I told you to put on the chair. But she said, what I did, I put a chair in that place. Then when he will learn that he will put his clothes on the chair, I can shift the chair a little bit in the right place. And like, this is how your relationship is growing. You can brain and like, not brain. You can shout and you can judge and you can break your loved one in a couple of seconds, or
Yeah.
you can build, and it's always a choice.
Yeah. So I think yeah, we are almost time. So what are the few takeaways uh from this topic? What we can give our audience?
First of all, when you are in a relationship, be very aware what is not aligned with your values, where you are becoming judgmental, and think about it in like in a 5 years it will be okay or not, and also recognize that from your partner, if he is okay or not, if you can accept the criticism from that partner, or it will become as a judgmental. um Always criticize if it will make your partner grow, and don't forget that where you are criticizing, you have to put your own efforts too, because this is the growing now of both of you. And when you hear a criticism, mm, try to deal with it also on your own, by understanding and ask help if you need from your partner. And if you see that you want to be with that partner, but there is a problem that you cannot solve in a relationship, ask for help from others.
Yeah. I think overall criticism is an opportunity for both partners to grow together in a healthier, healthier way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a negative thing. It's more of a positive opportunity to grow together.
I would say at the end, when there is no criticism, where you are at the point when there is no criticism, you have to understand that you with your partner will stay at the same point.
Yeah. There won't be any growth, and also maybe the relationship comes to an end when there is no more criticism.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, and thank you everyone who watching us.
Okay, we'll see you next time with a
Yes.
different topic. Bye.
Yes. Bye.